Hello everybody. New project today. It's a penny stove. Pretty simple, very inexpensive stove to make. You will need a penny. 1982 or older, preferable. You'll need a couple of cans. These I've already cut down and dried out. I'll be cutting them a lot shorter. Other tools you're going to need: a pair of pliers, scissors to cut the can. Just about any scissors will work. You could use a razor knife if you wanted to. It's pretty simple. Sharpie, a little sandpaper, tape measure if you want. I'll actually just use an old can I have here to lay this on and mark them. So the next part of this is just going ahead and marking the cans. We'll get them marked out and then I'll cut them and go on from there. So let's get started. Alright, first thing we want to do is mark the cans. So I'm just going to lay the Sharpie on here, turn them bottom down, and just mark it all the way around. Try to keep it down best you can. There. Then we want to do both of them. Alright, that's the pretty simplest part. Overall, this is a very simple project also. Now we're going to want one can for the bottom and one can for the top. Well, the bottom one I'm going to cut at the top of the line. The top one I'm going to cut at the bottom of the line. And the reason for that is when you put them together, the top doesn't come past the bottom edge. That way you don't have really sharp edge hanging past there. I do sand it down, so it is pretty smooth. I can feel it in a little dent right there, so I can feel a little bit, but it's not sharp because I use the sandpaper. So yeah, this part's the easy one. So this will be the bottom. It's easier to cut it down to the line slowly. That way the can actually bends a little easier. And during this process, try not to damage the can too much. Any kind of dents or stuff like that will make it a little harder. Alright, I can see I got a few pieces to trim it up, sand it, clean it, and you'll see there's a lot of these spurs sticking up. And I'll go through with the scissors, cut them off, but you don't want them. They're just sharp little pieces of aluminum. Not super sharp, not like using the tin can or anything. So give me 1 second here, and we'll get going on that. I had to grab my glasses so I could see. Yeah, I'm not even close to the line. So the whole idea is to get it pretty smooth. I probably could have better scissors for this, but try to cut off all these little burrs. Alright, there's a couple of little tiny ones left. Let's just nip them off, no big deal. I know a lot of people just use a razor blade, keep spinning it until the can cuts. I just don't have one handy, so I use an old pair of scissors. Throw that aluminum in the garbage there. Alright, this would be the bottom. The only thing I have left to do is really just sand it down, smooth it out, and it's done, except for assembly. Alright, now the top. Cut the big chunk off of here, and that's about 1.5 inches. Just get rid of that big chunk. So you can see that's about almost 1 3/4 inches total. But the idea is to get the can about 1.5 inches. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exactly precise at all. You can make this taller. You can make it shorter. It's up to you. There's no difference in it. So, all right, now we're going to go down and we're going to cut below the line. Well, it was a lot easier with the glasses on. I can see. A little bit of line left. These aren't the greatest scissors for this, but I'm trying to nip off all the little burrs. Alright, take a little more off here. The top one you want a little more accurate. So the whole idea is make sure I just remove most of the line so it's a little shorter. Some people don't do that, which is perfectly fine. Let me get this aluminum off here before I get stuck in my shoe or stuck in my sandal and stuck in my foot. All right, get that in the garbage. All right, now the sanding part's pretty easy. There's still burrs, and the top one is more important piece to sand. But yeah, you just kind of smooth out the edge, especially the outside edge. And most of the burrs will come out. That's the main thing, is get rid of the little lumps, little burrs. Like I said, more so on the top, which is the outside piece. But now I can, yeah, feel a couple rough spots there. And since this is just an aluminum can, it's pretty easy to smooth out. That's pretty smooth. I'll do the same thing to the bottom and be right back. Alright, got the bottom all deburred. If you're using a pop can or anything, you just want to clean it out halfway good. A little burr in there, knock out, but you don't want to be burning whatever was in the can. Simple as that. Alright, since this is the bottom, the only thing we have left to do is a needle nose pliers. Go about 1/4 inch. Do a little crimp. Try not to damage the can, of course. And what this will do is shrink the top of this piece so it'll slide inside the top piece. Pretty simple. So you just go all the way around, crimping it. Sometimes you'll have to go back through and crimp it a little more. I don't crimp very far down because I want a tight seal. Alright. There. See, we got it crimped around the edges. That should be able to fit it on there. Well, the top's a little different. Scissors out of the way. The top, you can turn it over, and this is where we make the holes. You want 5 holes in the center and 16 around the outside. Evenly spaced as you can do it. You can use about anything pop hole in this. It is aluminum can. Personally, I like a little drill bit. It works pretty good. So we'll start right in the center and drill. Okay. And the whole idea of this part, little burrs on the inside, I'll knock them off, is to make sure those holes, the penny will cover them, so you can't see any holes. That's the main part of that. There. All right. And the outside, well, you can see on this one, not perfect. Again, does not have to be perfect. But what you want to do is come around the outside rim, drill hole, come to the exact opposite side of the can, drill hole, and halfway, drill hole, halfway, drill hole, and you just keep doing this. For the holes a little low on the wall, it gives you a little more distance from whatever you're putting on here to burn, you know, a cook pot. Alright, that's it for the drill. So, I'll knock the burrs off the inside and try to clean it up. Any of them that are not quite done, I'll just go in with a drill bit and clean them out. There's one there. Alright. Just take my finger and clean out the little bits, because you want all your holes clear. Alright, well, the next part is assembly. Some people will add an insulation or something like that inside here. I don't. I just got all those crimps. It's a little finagly. You don't want to squish your can. Almost. Alright, got a section here that's not crimped good enough, so we'll just re-crimp it. Which is very common. The whole idea is just to shrink the can enough that they slide together. Okay, almost got it. Nope, missed again. Alright, where am I not crimped enough? This is the hardest part, just getting the two pieces together. Without squishing either one of the cans. That's what makes it hard when you're doing it. It's just they want to squish because it is aluminum, but there we go. Get it all the way on. And then it's just a matter of pressing her down. Make sure it's down all the way. And the reason I cut that top short, so now I don't have a lip. If you cut them exact same size, you'll have a lip down here, which you can sand down later on. Easy enough. Alright, clean out this junk. And just like anything else, pretty darn easy to use. You guys saw me make that the cat can stove. It's pretty simple too, but this weighs way less than this. I don't know exactly how much. I don't have my scale out here. But let's add a little fuel, which you just add it to the center. You can see it just drips right through the holes. That'll be enough. And it should light. There. Lit. Yep, I can feel it. And again, I mean, at night, you can probably see the heat from it, but it's burning. Maybe. Nope, I think it went out. Maybe I just need more fuel. I don't know. First time I've lit one of these. Just add a little bit more. This isn't, I'm not putting very much fuel in here. You can hear it when it pops. Ooh, that's definitely hot. Let me see if I got a piece of cardboard handy. Alright. Nope, still not burning. So, must be, have to use more fuel. So, that's what we do. There we go. Alright, feel the heat. Now it's just burning out of the center, so it could be why a lot of people add the insulation. Alright, try this again. Instead, I'm not using very much fuel, so let's put a little bit of fuel in here and drip a little down the side here like the light. Alright, drop penny in. Well, I can feel the heat. Let's see. It's definitely working. Well, it definitely got fuel in it. Plenty of that. Yeah, now you can see I spilled a little when I moved it, so let's move this away from that. Well, yeah, it's blasting now. Yeah. So you can see the smoke coming off the paper. It's hot to the hand. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but I can see the heat wave kind of coming off of it. Yeah, it lights no problem. Put it out. And just like any other alcohol stove, it's going to burn as long as the amount of alcohol you have in them. Which in an upcoming video, I'm going to compare a few different kinds of alcohol stoves, see how they do in comparison to each other with the same amount of fuel. So I'll get something to measure the fuel out. But yeah, this will burn quite a while. But the reason you use a 82 or older penny is because it's a, well, better made penny, and it won't be melting in there because it does get pretty hot. So alright, well, come back in a couple minutes. Well, it's been about 7 minutes, and I must have put a lot more fuel in it than I thought. You can see the penny Hopefully the camera, I don't want to get the camera too close, but hopefully that's showing. The penny's changing colors, the heat's hitting it, which is pretty darn cool. I can see a hole over here I gotta fix. I missed the burr on it, but yeah, it's burning. Ooh, that's burning really good. I could see when I do the testing between the penny can stove, which this is probably the cheapest stove I've found to make for a do-yourself stove, and definitely the lightest. Aluminum cans, you can get these anywhere. You could use a larger can or a smaller can. You could do it shorter, which I think the next one I'm going to do a little shorter, maybe around 1 inch instead of this can. I think this can's just at 2 inches. So I'm trying a little shorter, see if it's easier to light and fuel. Like I said, it's so inexpensive, why not try different forms of it. I just made this one the other day to see if I could do it, which pretty darn easy. But yeah, it's a cooking. Like I said, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can sure see what's happening with the penny on there. And every once in a while, a little bit of flame. When I do the test with all these stoves at the same time, I'll do it in the dark so you can actually see the flames, because right now you can't see the flames. All right, well, I'll let this run out of fuel and cool down, and I'll be back. All right, it's all cooled down. That thing ran for like 15 minutes, but hey, I put quite a bit of fuel in there. The penny actually cleaned up a little bit. This is 72, I think. But yeah, overall, it's still pretty solid. You can handle some weight. But if you do this with a can, you definitely want a distance between the vent and the top of where you put the pot. That way it can produce the heat it needs for it. And you can see a little discoloring around the edge, which I'm sure pretty normal. It's just burning the paint, basically. I know some people will sand down the whole outside of the can so it's just a shiny silver, which is an option for sure. Well, I hope a lot of people give this a try. I mean, it only costs you a penny. That's pretty cheap. And you know, of course, the fuel, like I say, I always use heat. It is a very clean burning fuel. If I'd used a fuel that didn't burn so clean, you probably could have seen the flames. But I do got to go in with a drill bit and fix a couple of the holes, like that one right there. Definitely needs opened up a little more, but no big deal. I mean, it worked good. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this video on how to make a penny stove. Simple project, and you know, very efficient. So, and thanks for watching.